These are 5 insane football stories. Neymar is the Brazilian football sensation. Neymar has been a force to be reckoned with in the world of football. In one of his matches with PSG, Neymar found himself standing at the cusp of glory. The air was thick, but some spectators weren't there just for the love of the game. They were armed with laser pointers. These mischief makers had their sights set on Neymar, flickering lights attempting to steal not just his focus, but his vision. It's not all fun and games under the stadium's glaring lights. Neymar's journey with PSG had already been quite the ride. With every game, he was killing it, but this time, the atmosphere was different. This wasn't just a game against the players, it was a game against the fans. Neymar played like a beast, a maestro with the ball at his feet, but just when victory was in sight, the lasers were flashing. A desperate, petty attempt to throw the maestro off his rhythm, but even with the lasers, the opposition couldn't clinch victory. Talk about futile efforts. Next up is Luka Modrić. Luka's story is one of struggle, persistence, and indomitable spirit. Born in 1985, Luka didn't grow up in the lap of luxury. His parents worked tirelessly in factories, where every penny was pinched and every meal was a luxury earned with sweat and toil. And then, life decided to throw a curveball. Luka was sent to live with his grandfather in a war-torn village in Yugoslavia, a chapter that added both sweetness and sorrow to his life. Living with his grandpa wasn't a walk in the park. It was navigating through a minefield of fears and uncertainties, with the ominous shadow of war looming overhead. But amidst the chilling echoes of conflict and danger, a bond blossomed between the grandfather and grandson, created through shared silences and the simple joys of herding cattle and fish. But one day, everything changed. On a day etched with dread and gunfire, 6-year-old Luka waited for his grandfather, who never returned. The village was under siege. Luka's world turned upside down, but amidst the chaos, football beckoned, whispering promises of escape and hope. After years of grit, determination, and unyielding focus, we find Luka Modrić not just living, but embodying the dream he stitched together in a war-stricken parking lot. With a whopping value of over £75 million and a reputation as one of football's midfield maestros, Luka stands tall as a testament to his grandpa's legacy and his own relentless pursuit of greatness. Next up is a story about Ronaldo's biggest fan, Shanta Ronaldo. Shanta's journey began like any fan's would, with eyes wide with awe and heart pounding with excitement at the sight of Ronaldo's unparalleled success, his charismatic presence both on and off the field, and a lifestyle as glittering as the trophies he's gotten. As the years rolled by, admiration morphed into imitation. Shanta began to mirror Ronaldo's style, right from his wardrobe to his hairstyle. He even embarks on a rigorous fitness regimen to emulate his idol's athletic prowess. With a glint in his eye and dreams knitting together in his Ronaldo-inspired imagination, Shanta took things up a notch. Shanta didn't just stop imitating his idol's looks, he decided to go under the knife, sculpting and carving his features until he bore a striking resemblance to Ronaldo himself. Now that's dedication. From trotting around the globe mirroring Ronaldo's travels, to getting acquainted with him on numerous occasions, Shanta's life became a canvas, painted with the colors of Ronaldo's existence. Instagram posts, name change, Shanta was on it, leaving no stone unturned in his quest to embody his idol. But this adoration turned into obsession, stirring concern among spectators. With Shanta gearing up to face Ronaldo in the 2022 World Cup, eyebrows were raised and whispers fluttered through the air. Is this a harmless dedication or a concerning obsession? The spotlight now shines on Andrés Escobar, Colombia's cherished son, whose life and career were a mosaic of soaring highs and unfathomable lows. In 1994, the World Cup unfurled its grand tapestry. Andrés stood tall and proud, a beacon of hope and expectation for a nation that breathed and lived football. With Colombia losing just 1 out of 26 games, the stakes were high, and so were the spirits. But fate, as they say, is unpredictable. Against the United States, a moment suspended in time and etched in infamy, Andrés scored an own goal. The collective gasp of a nation reverberated through the stadium, and the weight of disappointment hung heavy in the air. Colombia was ousted from the tournament, and Andrés found himself in the eye of a storm. He put out a statement the next day, saying his life doesn't end here and that life would go on. Tragically, his life had other plans. A few days later, Escobar was murdered in a parking lot outside of a bar. He was shot 6 times. The shooter confessed his crime that very night and was sentenced to 43 years behind bars. He left behind a legacy interwoven with joy, sorrow, and undying love for the game. Next up is Samuel Eto'o, a story full of mystery. This famous football star, known for his great career, somehow got caught up in some wild stuff. People said that Samuel bought a big fancy house in Italy. The house wasn't just big, it was huge. 40 rooms, a pool, and a ton of land. But here's the crazy part. Some believed the house was cursed. The curse was said to be linked to the finding of the tomb of a famous Egyptian king when he was just a boy. Because of the curse, Samuel reportedly couldn't sleep at night and felt uneasy in the big fancy house. The spooky events eventually got to Samuel, making him very upset. People said he wanted to leave his football team and move as far away as he could from the house. Eventually, he moved to Turkey to get away from it all. But in all this talk of curses and ghostly happenings, no one knows what's really true. Did the house have a curse? Did Samuel run away with ghosts? We might never know the real answers, but it's an exciting story that seems to dance between what's real and fiction.